welcome back. It's NCTV at New Canaan's final dual meet against Greenwich. I'm Victoria Tremblay. With me today is
Tilly Doak.
And we are so excited to bring you today's meet.
Looking at some stats, Greenwich has had an overall amazing season. They have won 5-0 and been undefeated. They're a very strong team. They're focused on bonding and discipline, and they are a class double L.
New Canaan is right behind them with a 5-2 record. Similarly, we've seen some great performances from their seniors, specifically their captains like Jack Haley, Eric Huang, and Oliver Carr. Currently, we are down 10 swimmers, but the freshman team came in strong and is holding up the record. Up first, we have the 200 medley relay. In lane 1 is Manu G these are all Greenwich. Manu G, Joseph Kodma, Dane Paulson, Augustin Yannick.
From lane 2 from New Canaan, we have Dane Mitchell, Sid Parshi, Sarah Sukani, and Leo Lee.
In lane 3 for Greenwich, Luke Mendelson, Jack Smim, Calvin Donat, and Charlie Coven.
Lane 4 from New Canaan is Jack Haley, Oliver Carr, Eric Huang, and Billy Flynn.
Lane 5 for Greenwich, Will Hanna, James Martinez, Matt Rungtino, and CJ Johnson.
And there is no lane 6 for NC. The start of the meet is about to commence.
Off to a great start, looking for those underwaters.
Strong underwaters from Jack Haley. Will Hanna has popped up first and is just ahead of Jack Haley going into the flip turn.
Pretty even so far.
Jack Haley pops up in front of Will Hanna.
Up next, we're looking for some really strong underwaters to get you in head. That's the key in breaststroke, really making sure your legs are strong.
Oliver Carr is taking the lead for New Canaan in lane 4, and close behind him is Jack Sim.
Looking strong so far with lanes 4 and 3, obviously taking the head start. Up next, we're going to see some really strong fly from New Canaan and similarly from Greenwich. Again, looking for those underwaters. Those are the key.
For fly, it's Eric Huang from New Canaan and Calvin Donat from Greenwich.
New Canaan is taking a strong lead here.
Close behind is Calvin. And right behind Calvin is Matt Regino from Greenwich. Billy Flynn, our freshman from New Canaan, is in the water and about to take it to first from the flip turn, and behind him is Charles Coven. And then in third place, we're looking at CJ Johnson from the Greenwich B team. Going into the finish, Billy Flynn takes the lead for New Canaan, getting first, and then it is Charlie Coven. Third place here is going to be CJ Johnson for the B team for Greenwich.
Leo Lee's finishing up for New Canaan, lane 2, finishing his flip turn strong.
And in fourth place, it's August Yanez for Greenwich C.
And finishing last is Leo Lee, lane 2 for New Canaan.
Amazing start to the meet.
Great swims all around. I think New Canaan really pulled through, but they were really close with Greenwich. Those lanes 4 and 3 really held tight. Pretty even the whole way through.
Okay. Our event next is the 200 free, with lane 1 from Greenwich being Matt Bergman. Lane 2 from NC is Chris Muller. Lane 3, our first seed from Greenwich, is Jake Melly. Our
Lane 4 for New Canaan is Jack Haley. Lane 5 for Greenwich is Hunter Bodie. And there's no lane 6 for New Canaan.
This will be an interesting feat because Jack Haley has just swam the 200 medley relay.
But knowing him, he does not get tired easily. He's such a great swimmer. Similarly, Jack Melly is really strong. You know, Greenwich has been practicing a lot on
Jack Haley and Jake Melly back to touch to touch on the flip turn. Going into our third flip turn right now. They are pretty even. Right behind them is
Chris Muller
Chris,
for New
Hunter,
Canaan.
and Matt.
This seems to be a really even event.
Jack
Not much difference here.
Jack is right in front of Jake, pulling about maybe an arm's length ahead going into our last flip turn.
Noticing here, their breathing patterns are super similar, making sure to get their arms and legs above the water as much as possible to really pull through.
Matt Bergman is coming in around third, and then there's a tight race between Chris and Hunter. Jack has pulled through going into the second half of the 200 free race.
Hunter Bodie and Chris Muller are pretty much neck and neck, with Jack Haley pulling in front of Jake Melly.
Going into the last 50, it is Jack Haley in first with Jake Melly close behind, and then we see a pull through from Hunter, from Matt Bergman in third, and then Hunter has pulled just in front of Chris Muller.
Wow, Jack Haley is now far ahead of everyone in the pool. It's going to be a very clear finish here.
Okay. Jack Haley takes first for NC, gaining them the points, and then for second it comes in as Jake Melly, and not close behind, it is Matt Bergman.
Hunter Bodie comes in fourth, and
Chris is in
place,
fifth.
Chris. It was a really strong race overall. It was really cool to see how similar their breathing patterns were and how similar their techniques were overall.
Okay, and now they're going on their warm down lap across the pool, and up next we have our 200 IM. From lane 1 for Greenwich is Wyatt Fix.
For lane 2 in New Canaan is Everett Trigg.
Lane 3 from Greenwich is Colin B.
Lane 4 for New Canaan is Alex Wan.
And lane 5 from Greenwich is Connor McMahon.
In lane 6 for New Canaan, Aiden Mitchell.
Full heat. This is the first time we've seen it this meet.
2IM is a really powerful event. There's a lot of skill and technique it takes to complete this race with as much energy as possible.
You gotta be the most well-rounded swimmer.
No place for mistakes here. Let's see how they start. Strong starts from everyone. Love to see the underwaters. Got most of them to about halfway. That's pretty good.
Going into our first open turn, Colin is up in first with Alex Schwann right behind. Oh, Alex pulled in front, was just on the underwaters. They both have a very strong kick pattern. Right behind him, Connor McMahon and Everett are very close.
Seeing this sort of triangle form is a clear sign that it's a strong event and every swimmer is placed in the correct lane. You don't want to have lane 1 or lane 6 pulling ahead of lane 3 or 4.
Going into backstroke, you see Alex Schwann pulling through, coming into the flip turn, but once again, Colin is not very far behind. Everyone's going into the flip turn, and everyone is very close. There's a close matchup between Aiden and Everett. Going into this turn, nobody did a bucket turn, but that's okay. Coming into breaststroke, Colin is pulling just a little bit in front of Alex.
Still both super strong, a lot to see the energy. That's what really gets you through the 2IM. It's super hard if you're tired or if you're not good at one specific stroke. You really just need to be fully well-rounded with this.
First, it's Colin. Second, we have Alex. But pulling up a close match between Alex is Connor McMahon. He's coming in tight. Not far behind them, we have Everett and then Aiden.
Aiden Mitchell and Wyatt Picks are pretty similar in speed here.
Heading into the freestyle last leg of the race, you can see Colin up in front of Alex. And coming up, someone who passed Alex was Connor McMahon. So it looks like going into our last flip turn, it is Colin and Connor for 1 and 2, and Alex is not far behind for third.
Yeah, Connor McMahon really showed his true strength here. You know, he was super good at everything. Breaststroke really pulled through with that. You know, he was able to get the finish he needed and the strength.
Colin had took first, Connor took second, and Alex took third. Coming in for fourth place right here, we have Everett Trigg, and he finished. And then it's going to be an out touch versus Aiden and Wyatt X. And Wyatt out touches Aiden. Amazing race, very strong.
Really shows the swimmer's true ability for every single stroke. You know, you can't mess up on one because then you just won't have the speed and strength to do everything else.
Okay, here they go on their warm down lap. Next up is our fastest race of the evening. It's our 50 free. With lane 1 for Greenwich, we have Charles Coven.
Lane 2 for New Canaan is Billy Flynn.
Lane 3 is Lake Mendelson for Greenwich.
Lane 4 is Oliver Carr for New Canaan.
Lane 5 is CJ Johnson for Greenwich.
And lane 6 is Leo Lee for New Canaan.
Wow.
You know, these are all super, super, super fast swimmers. They all have their strength in sprinting.
They're all getting ready, stretching out up on the bulkhead.
You know, in the 50 free, it's super important to not breathe as much as possible. It's super fast, just 2 laps.
The flip turn is probably the most important part of the race, as you can win it and lose it on there. It's definitely going to be a really close matchup. Going to be a very splashy race. Here they go up on the blocks with the whistle blow. All of them getting in prepared. Oh, Billy Flynn has a faulty block in lane 2. Doesn't have an end.
It's crazy to see Billy Flynn out here. You know, he's a freshman. He's taking
strong underwaters. Luke Mendelson takes up first, and then it is Oliver Carr in second. Going into the flip turn, Luke Mendelson pushes off first, and then it's Oliver Carr, and then close in third is CJ Johnson. Our Charles Coven from Greenwich has pushed through.
Oh, Greenwich pulling ahead, getting in front of almost everyone on New Canaan. It was a crazy race.
Jake Mendelson took the first, and then I believe Charles Coven, and then Oliver, and then CJ Johnson.
So those were obviously super fast, and now we have an exhibition, which is another heat of the same 50.
From lane 4, for New Canaan, we have Dane Mitchell. And we were not given the names for the exhibition heat of the 50 free for Greenwich.
Same thing, it's going to be a super fast race. It's really good to see these other freshmen, sophomores, juniors, not quite seniors, getting able to experience how fast the 50 is and to improve their times.
Here they are up on the block. Looking straight out of the start, Dane Mitchell had a very high dive, and Greenwich is pulling in first, and then our lane 5 Greenwich and our lane 1 and Greenwich are going in 1, 2, 3 from the flip turn. Coming out of the flip turn, it is still Greenwich, and Greenwich in first, and Dane Mitchell coming just closely behind.
Notice how very few breaths are being taken and the arms and legs are still flying. The goal is just not stop whatever you can do.
Beautiful exhibition heat.
Great to see kids dropping times. Obviously, coaches are super happy when that happens. New Canaan coach is super excited. Dane Mitchell clearly dropped time, and it's just lovely to see that throughout the board.
And here they go warming down. I believe now there's going to be a break, right?
Yeah, and now there's a break.
This game is sponsored by our NC Rams All Sports Booster Club Platinum and Gold sponsors. We would like to thank our Platinum sponsor, Quest Builders Group, a general contracting, construction management, and consulting company who proudly supports all of our high school athletes. We would like to thank our Platinum sponsor, Dr. William Fessler of Fessler Family Dentistry, the dental office for your entire family's dental needs. At William Fessler Family Dentistry, smile. You're in good hands. We thank Platinum sponsor Frangione Engineering. Planning on putting in a pool or an addition onto your house? Are you having drainage issues on your property? Frangione Engineering can help you find a solution. Platinum sponsors and NCHS alumni Leo and Steve Carl of Carl Chevrolet, who have been proud supporters of local athletic programs for generations. Their dealership has been serving Fairfield County since 1927. Their team is ready to assist with all of your automotive needs. We thank Platinum sponsor Manfredi Jewels. Manfredi Jewels, your local official Rolex jeweler, is excited to continue carrying the finest jewelry and watch brands and welcome the New Canaan community into their newly renovated store this fall. Go Rams! Platinum sponsor Renaissance Partners, a family-owned and New Canaan-based residential building and remodeling company serving all of Fairfield County. We thank Platinum sponsor Walter Stewart's. Walter Stewart's Market has supported NC Rams athletics and the entire New Canaan community for years. Walter Stewart's is your fresh local market. We also thank our Platinum sponsor Hoyt Livery for 30 plus years of service. We would like to thank our Gold sponsor Anderson Kenny Architecture, a full-service practice that encompasses a range of commissioned residential and commercial projects. Each project is a thoughtful collaboration tailored for clients and their needs. The outcome is highly personal, constructed with intention and integrity. We thank another Gold sponsor, Club Sandwich, a family-owned deli right here in town serving the New Canaan community since 1986. They are a proud sponsor of the New Canaan community and all of our sports teams. And we thank NC Graphics LLC, a Gold sponsor who is a constant supporter of the NCHS Booster Club. They are a custom graphics company located right here in New Canaan for all of your logo designing needs. Again, a big thank you to all of our sponsors. The NC Rams All Sports Booster Club supports all New Canaan high school athletics. Go Rams!
Hello, everyone. Welcome back from our break. Coming into that second half of the meet, we're seeing a really close meet between the two.
Our next up event is the 100 fly. Coming in from lane 1 for Greenwich is Jack Smith.
Lane 2 for New Canaan is Sarah Sukiani.
Our first seed, or in lane 3 from Greenwich, is Matt Rogliano.
Lane 4 for New Canaan is Eric Wong.
Lane 5 for Greenwich is Colin Donat.
And there's no swimmer for lane 6 in New Canaan.
Okay, guys. Coming into the second half, we're looking at a very close tie. We've seen really strong swims from either event, with New Canaan taking the 200 free and the 200 medley, and Greenwich taking the 2 IM and 50 free.
Yeah, we've seen some really good technique from both teams, especially Greenwich, really pulling through there.
Both teams have been doing great and look very close score-wise coming into the second half. Coming up for the 100 fly, we're expecting to see a very close race between Eric Huang and Matt Rogliano. Here they are on the take your mark. And they've had both a great finish. Matt Rogliano got a little bit higher on the flip turn, and Eric Huang comes out first for butterfly, taking very strong strokes. Going into the flip turn, it is Eric first, then Matt Rogliano, then Colin coming in just behind them both. Coming out of the flip turn, you'll see Eric taking the lead right now, and then not far behind him again is Matt, and Colin is coming up very close. Coming into the second half of the race, Eric is still up in first, doing, once again, very strong underwaters, has a very strong, powerful kick. And into the last open turn, Eric is up in first, and then it is Matt and Colin.
Let's see, will lane 3 pull through? Will they be able to touch, or will it just be a clear finish?
Coming into the finish, it is Eric who takes it for first, and then there is a fight for third between our 3 Greenwich swimmers. Matt takes it, and then it is Colin in second and Jack Smith in first. Finishing the race very strong, right, we have Sarah Sukiani from NC taking his last final strokes up through the red and into the finish.
Super powerful swim overall.
Amazing swim, guys. All the coaches are super happy, especially seeing some exciting encouragement from Coach Kat Munson for NC. Our next up event is the 100 free. Once again, a very, very fast event. From lane 1, we have Luke Merrill.
Lane 2, Billy Flynn.
Lane 3, Jake Melly.
Lane 4, Oliver Carr.
And lane 5, CJ Johnson.
Lane 6, Sid Farsi.
Once again, a very full heat, expected to be a very close finish between Jake and Oliver Carr. It's going to be down to the tooth and nail, we believe.
1 free is very fast, usually sub 1 minute, so it's really exciting to see super fast swims.
Heading up onto the block here with the first whistle. Everyone is getting ready, warmed up. Coming off a very strong start, everyone was off the block within milliseconds of it. We have Jake Melly up in first, just in front of Oliver Carr, and in second, it's Oliver Carr, but not close behind is CJ Johnson. Going into the first flip turn, Jake Melly takes it. Oliver Carr is in second, and CJ Johnson is in third, but not far behind. In fourth, just behind CJ Johnson is Billy Flynn, our freshman from NC. Coming into the second half of the race, it is Jake Melly in first, and there is a fight for second in between Oliver Carr and CJ Johnson. There's a fight between Billy and Jack Smith for, I believe it's fourth. In our last leg of the race, it is Jake Melly up in first.
Look at these close finishes.
There's a tooth and nail fight for second between Oliver and CJ Johnson. Jake Melly takes first, and up in here, it's a very close finish with CJ Johnson, then Oliver Carr, Billy, and then Luke Merrill. Coming up, placing 6th, but still finishing very strong, we have Sid Farsley. Amazing race with very great swims.
As noted before, super fast. Goal is to get as fast as possible. You want your arms and legs to be above the water at all times. Really keep powerful.
Amazing swims from Jake Melly. Very good very good finish and a very exciting fight into the finish between Oliver, CJ, Luke, and Billy. Here they are just warming down. Next, we can go into our longest race of the meet, which is our 500 freestyle. In lane one from Greenwich, we have Joseph Kozma.
In lane 2 for New Canaan, Chris Muller.
Lane 3 from Greenwich is Luke Mendelson.
Lane 4, Jack Haley.
Lane 5 from Greenwich is Charles Coven.
And lane 6 for New Canaan is Dane Mitchell. Oh, just kidding. Looks like it's an exhibition for the 1 free, and we are not yet on the 5 free.
So it is a full Greenwich heat. Everyone here is racing the 100 free again, but it's an exhibition, so it does not count for points. We were not given their names.
Still good to see the speed.
Exactly. Coming off to the finish, lane 2 had a very nice start, and lane 3 took it with the underwaters. Lane 3 is up in first, with lanes 2 and 4 fighting close behind. It's becoming like a very small pyramid. Out of the first flip turn, lane 3 is still in front with a close fight from lane 4 just far behind. Lane 2 has fallen down, but lane 1 is very close.
Lane 5 and 6 fighting for a finish, and lane 1 taking 4th. Coming into the second half of the race, there's still lane 3 and 4 fighting it out tooth and nail. Lane 2 is not far behind them. Here's where we really see the pyramid forming, going into that second 50, finishing the event.
And in our last leg of the race, we see lane 3 up in first with a close fight from lane 4. And then in third, we got lane 2, whose cap has seemed to have fallen off. Boom, lane 3 takes it, and then lane 4, and then a nice fight from lane 3, lane 1, lane 5, and then lane 6. Amazing swim, boys.
Even with challenges like your cap falling off or even your goggles, it's really key to see swimmers pushing through and finishing and fighting for that place.
Now it is our 500 free, which is our longest race of the night.
20 laps of straight freestyle.
Exactly. From lane 1, we got Joseph Kozma.
Lane 2, Chris Muller.
Lane 3 is Luke Mendelson.
Lane 4, Jack Haley.
Lane 5, Charles Coven.
Lane 6, Dane Mitchell.
Going to be an exciting race. It's going to be a long one, though, so got to be looking on pacing and not overswimming the first 250s.
I know for sure that New Canaan has been practicing on their pacing. Definitely their coach, Cap Munson, makes it a key factor to really come out strong but finish even stronger. And similarly, Greenwich has really been working on their technique as well as their pacing, but mainly just finishing their freestyle.
Up on the blocks, we see Luke Mendelson and Jack Haley, both, hitting their muscles, getting ready for the race. Up ahead, it's going to be a long one, so everyone's got to be very warmed up.
The 500 is really just as much as a mental game as it is a physical one. You really have to stay in the mindset here and don't slip or falter or get tired.
Everyone for the 500 has a counter, so they can just focus on their own swimming. Okay. This race is taking a little bit longer to start, but that is okay. Everyone's just getting ready, and the meet is getting organized. You see both teams lining up on each of the sides, really creating like a nice support environment. Greenwich has lined up all their swimmers on the side of the pool, and so has NC. And we are starting the next event.
Up on the blocks with the first whistle. Here we go.
Starting off the race, you see both Luke and Jack Haley starting off with a nice pace going up into the first flip turn. Both of them do not seem to be overswimming it at all. Coming out of the second, it is still Jack Haley in first, and then in second, it is Luke Mendelson and Charles Coven.
Great to hear people cheering them on. The 500 can be long and can be tiring, but hearing that support from your team really gets you through.
Jack Haley is once again in first, Luke Mendelson is in second, and then coming in close from third and fourth, there's a fight between Charles Coven and Joseph Kozma.
Dane Mitchell coming in 6th, still strong, focusing on not over swimming it, but will he be too slow? We will see.
Jack Haley is coming in first into our first 100. Strong underwaters. He has a very nice rhythm in his breathing. Every other. Luke Mendelson is coming in next. They both have a very structured pace. You can see it.
Lane 3 and 5 for Greenwich, really focusing on taking 2nd and 3rd here. Really using Jack Haley as a great pacer. You know, his form is really consistent, and keeping a good pacer in the 500 is key to a good race.
As so is staying up in the middle of the lane, which you see Jack Haley. He's not moving. He's staying right in the middle. Jack Haley is still in first, and then it is Luke Mendelson in second. Up in third, it is Charles Coven. In fourth, it is Joseph Kozma, and then in fifth, it is Chris Muller, and then in sixth, it is Dane Mitchell. Coming into the second 100, it is still Jack in first. All swimmers are looking very, very, very strong. No one seems to be faltering. Everyone's got a lot left. Dean Mitchell has since been lapped by Jack Haley, and Luke Mendelson have lapped Dane, which means they are a 50 ahead of him.
That can be extremely hard to experience in the 500, especially because it's so long. You know that if you get behind in any place, it will be very hard to recover from that.
Coming into this next flip turn, it is still Jack in first, Luke in second, and Dane is about to get lapped by Joseph Kuzma. There's a fight in between Chris and Joseph. Sorry, that was Charles in third. Chris and Joseph are fighting it out for fifth and fourth.
Lanes 3 and 4, common fight for first place here. Love to see the pacing. Super energetic as we near about halfway. For Jack Haley still being in first is very impressive. He's kept up a really, really consistent pace this entire race, and so has Jake Mendelson. Coming out of his flip turn, he's still underwatering past the red flags, and so is Jake. Charles Coven has fallen behind, but is still in a very solid place for third. Chris Muller has pulled in front of Joseph Kuzma and is about to lap Dane Mitchell. However, Jack Haley has just lapped Chris Muller and lapped Dean twice now. Charles Coven has just lapped Dean again, which means Jack and Luke Mendelson are 2 laps ahead of Dean and 1 ahead of Chris and Joseph. The only one who has yet to been lapped is Charles Coven. As they reach this final 100, it is really important to see that they increase their speed and try not to get bogged down by all the slow. Again, it's really good to see these teams and coaches cheering them on, because this last 150 is really important and crucial to the race.
Coming up into his last 50 is Jack Haley in first, which is why he's got the bell. But coming in, you can see him and Luke Mendelson speeding up their stroke a little bit. They're really pushing it on this last 50.
That bell is a great influence for people. It's really a great motivator to really get them through that last 50.
Going into his last flip turn, you see Jack Haley has really stepped up his speed a bunch, and so has Luke. I don't know how much of a fight it will be, but Jack Haley has almost secured first for NC and Luke Mendelson for second. Jack Haley has taken first for New Canaan. Luke Mendelson has gotten second for Greenwich. Amazing swims, boys. Coming up for third, it is Charles Coven, as Chris Muller still has another lap to go. Charles Coven in lane 5 is on his final 25. He's speeding up his stroke. He's kicking really, really hard. He's getting in and finishing strong. And for third, Charles Coven takes it for Greenwich. Amazing swim. With about 100 left, Dean Mitchell pushes off his third to last wall. Chris Muller is on his last 25. He is going in strong. He is about to claim fourth for New Canaan. He beat out Joseph Kuzma around midway throughout the race. There we go. Chris has secured fourth place for NC, and coming in fifth is Joseph Kuzma for Greenwich in lane 1. Dean still has about a 75 left. So he will do another flip turn, and then he will come in. That was an overall amazing race. Saw some really amazing technique and strong endurance throughout that entire thing. Dean is in his last 50 with a lot of encouragement from his coaches and teammates. His main coach, Kat Munson, is encouraging him a bunch. Let's go, Dean.
Yeah, like you said, the 500 is really about endurance and keeping that pace strong. Sadly, Dean Mitchell was not able to keep the pace from the start, but he definitely has a lot to learn, only being a freshman and already.
Dean is coming into his last thing. He's finishing strong. He's really speeding up a stroke, and Dean has finished for New Canaan, getting 6th place. Amazing job. Amazing swims, boys. They're all warming down now. Up next, we have our 200 free relay, which is going to be one of our fastest events. It is in lane 1 for Greenwich. It is August Yanez, then Wyatt Fix, Rowan Leonard, and then Uti Yanez.
There's no one in lane 2 for New Canaan.
Our lane 3, our Greenwich A relay is James M., Wim McCarthy, Calvin Donat, and Luke Mendelson.
In lane 4 for New Canaan, we have Eric Wong, Oliver Carr, Billy Flynn, and Jack Haley.
In lane 5 for Greenwich, we've got Connor McMahon, Dane Paulson, Colin Bucaria, and Jake Melly.
And there's no one in lane 6 for New Canaan.
What's interesting is that both our A relays for each team have finished with Luke Mendelson and Jack Haley, which you'll remember had just swam the 500 and are coming into their 4th event of the evening, so they're pretty tired.
It'll be interesting who wins this, as it is a Greenwich-dominated event. There's only one heat of New Canaan, and all with their top swimmers here.
New Canaan has a very impressive lineup, with 2 of their 4 swimmers being captains, 2 seniors, 1 sophomore, one junior, Oliver Carr, and our freshman, Billy Flynn. And our relays have started to line up on the bulkhead, right behind the blocks. This is going to be a fast race, and we're going to see a lot of amazing freestyle.
Lane 3 for Greenwich is obviously very strong, racing lane 4 for New Canaan. James Marines, Wim McCarthy, Calvin Dunant, Luke Mendelson, all super strong, all seen them before. It's going to be interesting to see who pulls through at the end.
Yep.
Everyone getting ready, up on the blocks.
They're announcing the event right now, 200-yard freestyle medley. Up with the first whistle, we have James and Eric getting up for our A relays. Coming off of the start, you see Eric had an amazing start.
Look at those underwaters. That's what we were looking for in relays, really getting ahead.
Coming into the first flip turn, Eric has taken it, and then it is James and Connor coming in for a second. Eric is still in first, coming in to Oliver Carr.
What's also crucial is their relay starts.
Boom. That was very, very fast. There's a tight race for second in between our 2 Greenwich teams. Right now, it is Oliver Carr in first for New Canaan, and Wim McCarthy and Dane Paulson fighting it out for second for Greenwich.
Super fast flip turns. There's a lot to lose here, and one person, especially their kicking, one person can ruin it all.
And Billy Flynn has taken an amazing relay start, followed by Calvin and then Colin. Billy Flynn experiencing some turmoil from Calvin, who was really speeding up. Coming into this flip turn, Billy has just pulled ahead. Calvin is really chasing him. Billy is fighting to stay in first.
Up next, we have Jack Haley and
Luke Mendelson.
Both coming out of their 500s. Let's see how they perform.
Jack is in the water first, followed by Luke Mendelson. Going into this last 25, it is Jack in first, Luke Mendelson in second, and then followed closely third, it is Jake Melly.
Who will win? What a fight. This is crazy.
It's going to be like an out touch.
Will it be? And Jack Haley takes it.
Jack Haley, followed very closely by Luke Mendelson, and then in third we got Jake Melly. Amazing race, boys. Coming in to finish, we have Uti Yanez for
Lane 1, Greenwich.
amazing and exciting race, boys.
It's crazy to see Jack Haley and Luke Mendelson both come out of that 500 but still perform so well in that quick 50. I did notice that their technique faltered only a little bit, but that's all right.
Okay, coming into our next event is the 100 back. For lane 1 for Greenwich, we have Reed Siller.
Lane 2, we have Alex Wan.
Lane 3 for Greenwich, Hunter Bodie.
Lane 4 for New Canaan, Eric Wong.
Lane 5 for Greenwich, Will Hanna.
Lane 6 for New Canaan, Aiden Mitchell.
This will be an impressive fight. We've all seen these swimmers before. This is not their first event.
Eric Wong actually just swam. He was up first for lane 4 in the relay. So it'll be really interesting to see how he performs, even when tired.
Wow. Okay, all the swimmers are warming up behind the blocks. Everyone's there. Everyone's accounted for, shaking it out. New Canaan's pool does have pull downs that the swimmers can use. It'll be interesting to see if they use them or not. There's normally not enough time, but
It appears no one is using the pull downs.
very amazing starts from Eric, and once again, he's taking the cake with his
Look
underwaters.
at those underwaters. That is what coaches want to see. That is what separates a good swimmer from a great swimmer.
Going into the first flip turn, it is Eric Kwong, and I believe there's a close fight for second in between Will Hanner, Hunter Bodie, and Alex Yuan. Oh my goodness, and in lane 1, Reed Siller from Greenwich is coming in too.
Lane 6, Aiden Mitchell for New Canaan, still pulling through. Not quite ahead, but still pushing through with those underwaters.
Alex Yuan is coming into his third and final flip turn of his race. Pushing off first, there is a close fight for second, but right now going to the flip turn, it is Will Hanna for second for Greenwich. Coming out of the flip turn, it is still Will Hanna, and then it is Hunter.
Look at those finishes. Who is going to get second?
Alex Yuan takes the cake for his, doing a wonderful finish.
Touch out. Looks like lane 5 takes it for Greenwich, and then followed by lane 3. Very close race.
So that was Alex, then Will, then Hunter, then Alex, then Will, then Hunter, then Alex, and then taking 5th was Reed, and taking 6th was Aiden. Amazing swim.
Up next, we have our 100 breast.
In lane 1 for Greenwich, we have Luke Merrill.
In lane 2 for New Canaan, Sid Farshi.
Lane 3, we have Jack Smith.
Lane 4, Everett Trigg.
Lane 5, Matt Bergner.
And lane 6 for New Canaan is Leo Lee.
This will be an impressive race. We've all seen these swimmers before. We know how they swim. They must be pretty tired by now. Once again, these dual meets are very, very difficult because it is so many races in such a short amount of time. The meet started they started swimming just about 45 minutes ago.
It's crazy.
So many races, such little time.
The key is to stay warmed up. That's why a lot of people go into other lanes to warm up and warm down.
They are starting their race now. One whistle, everyone's up on the block, everyone's ready to go, doing their pre-race rituals.
Solid start from everyone. Everyone seems really in line. Let's see who pops up first.
And it is a close match for third between Jack Smith, Matt Bergner, and Everett Trigg. Going into the first open turn, it looked like it was Matt up in first, and he is pulled through with the pullout. It is Matt in first, Jack Smith in second, and then Everett in third.
Lane 2 and lane 6 fighting it out.
Coming up in lane 1, we have Luke Merrill, who's very, very close. He's right now ahead of Sid and Leo Lee. Coming into this last open turn, it is Matt and Jack fighting it out for first, and Everett not far behind at all.
Looks like it's a super close call between first and second place, and even third place. Let's see who takes the cake.
Coming into this last thing, it seems like it is Jack Smith up here, and then it's Matt coming into second. Coming in. And Jack takes it, and then Matt. Coming into third, it is Everett. Fourth, not far behind, is Luke Merrill.
Fighting for last, lane 2 and lane 6. Who will take it? And it's Sid Farsi from New Canaan, lane 2.
Sid Farsi and Lee. Amazing race, boys.
Super strong.
Okay, we are on our final event of the night. It is the 400 free relay. Normally, this is the most hype event of the night, so everyone gets so excited. From lane 1, our C relay from Greenwich is Nathan, Rudolph, Joseph, Kuzma, Jack, Jurgens, and Ronald Leonard.
Lane 2 for New Canaan, Saras Sukani, Dane Mitchell, Leo Lee, and Sid Farsi.
Lane 3, our A relay from Greenwich is Matt Rogliano, Connor McMahon, Jake Melly, and Charles Coven.
Lane 4, Chris Muller, Aiden Mitchell, Alex Wan, and Everett Trigg.
Our C relay, or lane 5 from Greenwich, is Hunter Bodie, Dane Paulson, CJ Johnson, and Colin Bucaria.
Surprisingly, no one for lane 6 in New Canaan.
So this event is going to be probably one of the final tie winners. It's been a very close race this entire time, with NC and Greenwich all taking first, second, and third in a lot of events. Everyone's lining up. Teams are starting to form behind the blocks and on the bulkhead.
We've seen lots of strong swimmers, and the 4 free relays really when they all come together to fight for first place.
Yep. Behind the blocks for lane 4, you see Chris and Alex. Greenwich's A relay looks to be all there. New Canaan's relays are forming right now. Everyone's coming up to the blocks.
This will be really interesting to see because Sid Farsi and Leo Lee are in the same event, but they both just swam the one breast, so it'll be interesting to see how they perform even when tired.
So once I said again, this is our last event of the night. It is going to be our big finale of the meet.
It's super hype. There's a lot of energy from both teams, coaches and teammates.
Exactly. They're starting the event momentarily. With the whistle, we see Chris Muller and Matt Rogliani on the blocks, who are going to be most likely fighting it out. Starting off with a beautiful start, we see Chris in the water, as long as Matt Rogliano. Chris has popped up first, but Matt has popped up in front of him. Coming in close from third, we got Hunter Bodie. Coming in close for third, fourth is Nathan for Greenwich. Coming out of the first flip turn, it is Matt Rogliano, followed closely by Chris, and then Hunter Bodie, and then in fourth, very not at all far behind, we have Nathan. Going into our next flip turn, it is Matt Rogliano in first. Chris Muller and Hunter Bodie are fighting it out for second. Nathan is in fourth, and Saras is in fifth. Their last leg, it is Matt in first. Hunter is pulled through in front of Chris, and Chris is in third. Coming to fourth is Nathan, and fifth is Saras. Beautiful fast start from Connor coming from Matt, and Dane coming from Hunter. Good underwaters from Aiden, who is following in Chris Muller. Coming to this next flip turn, coming out of it, it is Connor McMahon in first, followed very closely by Joseph, and then Aiden. Fighting to stay in it in fourth place is Joseph Kuzma. Going to the next flip turn, Connor McMahon is still in front, followed by Dane Paulson, who is gaining ground. And it looks like Joseph Kuzma has overtaken Aiden Mitchell. These guys are now in their last leg of their 100. It is Connor up in first, followed by Dane. And it is Jake Melly, who's now in the water in first, followed by CJ Johnson for Greenwich. Jack Jurgens is now in the water for Greenwich in lane 1. And in our NC lane 3 team, it is Alex Yuan now in the water, who's fighting to get back in it. Jake Melly is in first going into the slip turn, followed closely behind by CJ Johnson and Jack Jurgens. They have since lapped our New Canaan B team. In the water for New Canaan B is Leo Lee. Jake Melly is still in first, still followed by CJ. Alex Yuan is fighting to stay in this. And now in the water is Charles Coven, who is finishing strong for Greenwich. Colin Bukaria is finishing again for Greenwich in lane 5. Finishing for NC is going to be Everett Trigg. In lane 1, just in the water, is Rowan Leon. Everyone is fighting to stay in this, as Everett Trigg has just now passed Leo Lee. Charles Coven is going into his last final flip turn. He flipped and he's still in first. He's about to take first for Greenwich in the last event of the night. Followed not far behind by Colin Bukaria. And coming in first, Charles Coven lands the win for Greenwich. Second is Colin Bukaria for Greenwich as well. Our final swimmer from New Canaan B is in the water. It is Sid Varsley. Coming in third is Rowan for Greenwich C team in lane 1. Amazing swim. Finishing it up for New Canaan A is Everett Trigg, who is just now finished, and Sid is on his last lap, still finishing strong, going in. It's our last event of the night. He is in his last final flip turn. Everyone is very hyped and cheering everyone along. Greenwich is obviously ecstatic that they won this event. Sid is finishing up. Teammates are, saying good job to each other across the lane lines. Amazing sportsmanship. You love to see it. And Sid Varsley finishes strong for New Canaan B. Amazing job, boys.
All right, recapping the meet. Wow, what a strong races from everyone across the board. Both teams really ate that up. Did so well, amazing swims. A lot of what we saw were some really great techniques from a lot of the seniors from Greenwich, who are all captains and super inspirational to their underclassmen and juniors who have great mentors and teaching them things.
What we saw a lot of this meet is a lot of people who are specialized in their own event, taking first by a long shot, and then there was really a big fight for second, third, and fourth.
From New Canaan, we saw Jack Haley, Oliver Carr, Eric Wong, and Billy Flynn, all super high spots, very high point scorers for New Canaan, which we love to see.
Shout out to Billy Flynn because he's a freshman and he's really pulling through on the team. From Greenwich, our all-stars this meet were Luke Mendelson, Jake Melly, Hunter Bodie, and CJ Johnson. All did amazing this meet, really pulled through for the team, scored a bunch of points, and were very heavily involved in their relays and own individual events.
Even though Greenwich is a double L, they have a lot more swimmers. New Canaan still did really well, fought as hard as they could. Super great races from both teams all around.
The final score is being calculated right now, and we'll get it back to you as soon as we have it.
Here we see teams doing their cheers, great sportsmanship, as said before. It's really nice to see at the end of a meet, really just keep team spirits up, even whether you win or lose.
Here we see New Canaan doing the munch, munch, munch cheer and saying Greenwich is an amazing team. Okay. Key performances that we saw we saw a lot of key performances in the 500 free with Jack Haley versus Jake Mendelson when Jack eventually took it. We saw an amazing performance in the 200 medley from New Canaan that was finished it all. That our team was Jack, Oliver, Eric, and Billy. We saw amazing swims in the 200 free relay and the 400 free relay from Greenwich. James, Wim, Calvin, Luke Mendelson, Matt Rogliano, Connor McMahon, Jake Melly, and Charles Coven all were very key players in securing Greenwich's wins in those events.
A key theme across the board was their technique and performance, as well as their endurance in all of those events. I know that Greenwich has been practicing a lot on their bonding as a team in order to get stronger as a team. And similarly, New Canaan practices very strongly together a lot, all the time. They really just make sure to get their technique and forms down.
Key performance from a Greenwich swimmer, Luke Mendelson, was in the 50 free where he took first. Again, in the 100 fly, Eric Kwong for NC was very great. Right now, you'll see both teams giving each other high fives and fist bumps, congratulating each other, showing sportsmanship. In the 100 free, Jake Melly was a very strong swimmer. So was Oliver Carr. It was a very, very intense race.
It was good to see in that 4 free relay, lane 4 for New Canaan with Chris, Aiden, Alex, and Everett really pushing strong up against their lane 3 competitors with Matt, Connor, Jake, and Charles.
Our 100 breast was again a very, very strong and interesting event, as it was a fight for first between Eric, Jack, and Matt, who was in lanes 4, 3, and 5. Overall, an amazing meet, boys. It was very exciting, and this is, again, New Canaan's last home meet. Next week, they will go on to swim against Danbury, I believe. Oh, maybe not then. Overall, we saw some very strong swims.
I think the coaches are going to be very happy with how all of their swimmers performed. Definitely getting back into the pool is going to be super exciting, especially coming after a big win. And even if it's a loss, you just have to get back and get back up.
It was definitely an intense meet. We are still waiting on the final score, which is going to be calculated momentarily. Our team managers are getting that up. In the 100 back, it was an amazing Reed really pulled through. So amazing job, Reed. As you can see on deck right now,
swimmers are packing up. Coaches are calculating their scores. The energy is still really high, coming off of a really strong meet. All right, after calculating the score,
it wasn't an exact score.
But Greenwich did take the win here.
Amazing job, Greenwich. We saw a very strong swim from New Canaan and Greenwich combined, but Greenwich did overall earn the most points. We thank you again for signing in.
Thank you, and tune in next time.
This game is sponsored by our NC Rams All Sports Booster Club Platinum and Gold sponsors. We would like to thank our Platinum sponsor, Quest Builders Group, a general contracting, construction management, and consulting company who proudly supports all of our high school athletes. We would like to thank our Platinum sponsor, Dr. William Fessler of Fessler Family Dentistry, the dental office for your entire family's dental needs. At William Fessler Family Dentistry, smile. You're in good hands. We thank Platinum sponsor Frangione Engineering. Planning on putting in a pool or an addition onto your house? Are you having drainage issues on your property? Frangione Engineering can help you find a solution. Platinum sponsors and NCHS alumni Leo and Steve Carl of Carl Chevrolet, who have been proud supporters of local athletic programs for generations. Their dealership has been serving Fairfield County since 1927. Their team is ready to assist with all of your automotive needs. We thank Platinum sponsor Manfredi Jewels, Manfredi Jewels, your local official Rolex jeweler, is excited to continue carrying the finest jewelry and watch brands and welcome the New Canaan community into their newly renovated store this fall. Go Rams! Platinum sponsor Renaissance Partners, a family-owned and New Canaan-based residential building and remodeling company serving all of Fairfield County. We thank Platinum sponsor Walter Stewart's. Walter Stewart's Market has supported NC Rams athletics and the entire New Canaan community for years. Walter Stewart's is your fresh local market. We also thank our Platinum sponsor Hoyt Livery for 30 plus years of service. We would like to thank our Gold sponsor Anderson Kenny Architecture, a full-service practice that encompasses a range of commissioned residential and commercial projects. Each project is a thoughtful collaboration tailored for clients and their needs. The outcome is highly personal, constructed with intention and integrity. We thank another Gold sponsor, Club Sandwich, a family-owned deli right here in town serving the New Canaan community since 1986. They are a proud sponsor of the New Canaan community and all of our sports teams. And we thank NC Graphics LLC, a Gold sponsor who is a constant supporter of the NCHS Booster Club. They are a custom graphics company located right here in New Canaan for all of your logo designing needs. Again, a big thank you to all of our sponsors. The NC Rams All Sports Booster Club supports all New Canaan High School athletics. Go Rams!